Boys and girls, here is a mitten project that is inspired by the book The Mitten by Jan Brett. So first on our paper, we are going to create a mitten so that we can decorate it. Now a mitten goes around all your fingers and then there is a place for your thumb. I want you to create your mitten really large on your paper. So I'm going to make a dot at the top of my paper and kind of towards the bottom of my paper. And between those two dots, I'm going to make a big curved line and see how big this mitten is going to be. And I'm going to stop right there because I also need the place for my thumb. So I'm going to go ahead and make a curved line for my thumb, and then I can connect the top of my mitten down to the little thumb place for my mitten. Now on the bottom, I'm going to connect the two parts of the bottom. I'm going to make a curved line on one side and a curved line on the other, and then attach those two, and voila, I have a mitten. Easy peasy, right? Now we're going to decorate our mitten based on the animals that were in the story. Do you remember the first animal that showed up and wiggled his way into the mitten? It was a mole. Moles like to make hills, molehills. So they look kind of like this. I'm going to make a wavy line with little hills in the line. That is for the mole. Do you remember the next animal? It was a rabbit. So we're going to make some rabbit ears. This looks like a kind of like a teardrop shape, two of them together. And those make some rabbit ears. So I am going to make rabbit ears on the next line as a pattern for my mitten. Now the next animal that showed up was a little prickly, so nobody wanted to say anything to him, and he was a hedgehog. So we're going to make a zigzag line that shows those prickles. They go zigzag and they're sharp and pointy. And who was the next animal who showed up? Well, it was an owl, of course, and we're going to make some owl eyes. So two circles right next to each other, and we're going to repeat those circles over and over in the pattern. Once you finish making your owl eyes all the way across your mitten, I'm going to make them actually look like eyes by adding this curved line on the inside of each of the eyes. The next animal to show up was a badger, and badgers have stripes. So we're going to add some stripes to our mitten. First, one straight line across, then a second straight line across, a horizontal stripe, and then we're going to add stripes or just vertical lines over and over to create those stripes all the way across. And the badger and all the other animals was soon joined by a fox, and a fox has a triangular face and triangular ears. So we're going to do a row of triangles for the fox. Came next but a bear, a big brown bear. So we're going to create bear paws or paw prints all the way across our mitten. You do this by making a circle and then 3 smaller circles for the paw print, and repeat that over and over all the way across your mitten. And the last animal to squeeze into the mitten was a tiny little mouse on the bear's nose. So we're going to add a mouse tail, just a curved little line for the mouse tail all the way across, and this will be the last animal that we see in the story. And after that big sneeze, the next character we see is Mickey coming through the woods. So we're going to create his hat. Make an upside down U, just a bumpy line, connect the bottom, and make one more line on that to create Mickey's hat. And finally, we see Baba waiting for Mickey to return home safely and to make sure that he brings home his mitten. So we are going to create a heart for our last pattern to show the love that Baba has for her grandson. So to create a heart, it looks like the number 2 and then the number 2 backwards, just without the tail. So a curved line like an ear shape, and then a backwards curved line to connect it. To finish off my mitten, I'm just going to add some straight vertical lines on the cuff of the mitten. That's the part that goes around your wrist. This is just to show some texture. Once you have your amazing mitten done, the last thing to do before you color is to trace every single line with a black marker or a Sharpie. Remember, when we're tracing, we are going right on top of the lines that we already created. We're not drawing anything new or coloring anything in. So trace on top of your lines, and I'm going to speed it up so you're not just watching me trace every single line. And when you're done tracing every single line, not leaving any of your pencil lines out, you can color. Color in your patterns neatly, staying inside the lines, and also use a variety of colors, as many colors as you can possibly find to decorate the patterns on your mitten. Cannot wait to see how your mittens turn out. Happy creating! Have fun!